Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you would never ask. It is Wednesday, the 27th day of January. Today is Library Shelfie Day, so you're supposed to go to the library and take a selfie in front of a shelfie.
In front of a shelf.
See?
I get
See?
it. I see.
It is also National Chocolate Cake Day.
Yum.
Wait a minute. Wasn't that yesterday?
We can't celebrate that.
It seems like that's every day. And on a more somber note, it's Holocaust Remembrance Day. And that brings me right to my guest for the day today. We're going to be visiting with Jewish scholar Deborah Dash Moore, and we're going to talk about a project. We actually spoke with her one other time about this. It's called the Posen Library, but we're going to talk about how things are going there. And they've got like several decades worth of information digitized now, where before it was like you had to go through a book and you had to search through the book. Now you click a button and boom. So it's really cool. I'm going to be chatting with her coming up later in the program. Thanks for listening on a Wednesday.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. A new study found that turning your computer camera off during work meetings can save the environment. Researchers at Yale and MIT and Purdue found that streaming video from your computer will increase your carbon footprint. So they say turning off your computer on your camera, turning off your camera on your computer can save the environment. And it can also save your job.
That's what I was just going to say. For some people, it can save your job.
Because there have been people that are
doing.
sitting in their office during meetings,
Yep.
realize they're not wearing pants or whatever. So, you might want to just do that. A study found a link between sugary soft drinks and pancreatic cancer.
Oh, my.
Sadly, I don't have a link or any more information. It's just a headline that's in here. I feel as though I owe you more, so I'll give you one more. A study found that heart attack victims have less chance of surviving the higher up they live in an apartment building.
Really? That's interesting.
Well, I think a lot of it is because you got to get from there all the way down to here, and then so it just takes that much longer.
I suppose because it takes longer for rescue.
Yeah.
People?
Surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
This is your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. Cannabis activists have come up with a way to entice more people to get the coronavirus vaccine. Give them weed. According to a group in D.C. called Marijuana Justice, the architects of the initiative, 71, plotting a cannabis giveaway around vaccination sites, saying those sites haven't been announced yet, but the organization is going to volunteer to distribute free baggies of marijuana at multiple vaccination centers as they come online. So far, local growers in that area have pledged 3 pounds of cannabis to the giveaway. Organizers hope to collect a total of 5 pounds by the time they begin handing it out, according to D.C. Marijuana Justice co-founder. They say an added bonus is the group also plans to give away seeds for local cannabis strain named after a D.C. member, David Grosso. I don't know who that is. Some of the other seeds are dubbed Grosso's Green. Again, I've got a link to all the stuff. I try not to talk about politics, but this story was sent to me, and they said, this would be a good one for Brain on Drugs. I don't know. It's just a silly story. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by channelsurfertv.com. We talked about this, I believe, last week. A new report claims Armie Hammer, he's the actor, was spoken to by police regarding his Instagram account where he supposedly discussed cannibalism. He was,
I've heard something about this.
he was heckled
Not much.
outside a restaurant who called him a cannibal. And I looked to see, because I was like, I think I know who that is. And I recognized him right away. His real name is Armand Hammer. So it's like Armand Hammer. I was like, oh,
funny.
It's kind of interesting. And then Sarah Thomas will be the first female referee in Super Bowl history. She was added to the roster of the league's championship game. And
That's kind of cool.
it is. And we've got the Super Bowl. It's not this weekend. It's next weekend. And Heidi and I will be watching it. We don't typically watch the game. We're not sports folk, but we're going to be at it.
We're going to be watching.
Yeah, we're going to be at that little chili
we're going to be at
cook-off.
a party, but we're not going to
yeah.
be watching
Well,
it.
that's why they're having the chili cook-off, Heidi. It's a party.
I'm not going to be watching it.
It'll be on. Thanks for listening to Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by channelsurfertv.com.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now your scoop of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of giftcardchallenge.org. The U.S. Army is testing, I'm not even kidding, an Iron Man suit for the next generation of combat. The suit
That's fantastic.
It is. The suit can withstand major blows from guns and mortars. Now, here's the thing that's interesting. When you think about it, this is nothing new. Knights in shining armor, they wore suits of armor back in the day. Now, when we hear this, we think of the character Iron Man.
Right.
Why wouldn't we think of, the knights in shining armor? They've been doing that for a long time.
I suppose.
This is probably a lot more comfortable. The inside
Maybe
of your...
a lot more high-tech, too, I would assume, but
Yeah, I would hope so.
you never know.
Your coffee machine could be one of the dirtiest places in your kitchen, if not cleaned a little more often. Bacteria, yeast, and mold could be growing inside your machine because of irregular cleaning. Those little devils don't discriminate. It doesn't matter whether you have a coffee pot, a Keurig, or a fancy espresso machine. Researchers say the part of the machine that stores water is the biggest culprit of disgustingness. Is that a
makes
word?
sense.
Disgustingness is underlined like it's not really a word. Half of the coffee reservoirs tested contained mold and yeast. The intense heat from the machine kills a lot of the bacteria, but they're saying it's not going to save you from all of it. So maybe dump that water reservoir once in a while and rinse it out. I just got to thinking.
I think you have to actually clean the entire pot, like run. I think
Yeah.
you run vinegar through it or something
Yeah.
like that.
Probably. We should
I
know,
don't- we should
considering we
research that.
have coffee pot. Here's the thing. We've never had a coffee pot long enough to actually need to clean it.
Oh, I bet.
We have had
I bet
18
it doesn't
coffee
take as
pots.
long as you might think.
We've had 18 coffee pots in the last, 4 years? We have
have not had
have
18.
two.
We have
We've had so many. So many. I'll post a photo online. Hey, we got a new coffee pot. People are like, didn't you just get a new coffee pot? What do you do with these
Why are
things?
you posting pictures of our who cares?
Because I think it's hilarious how many coffee pots you've purchased. I mean, it's almost like we should be in a program or something.
Okay.
A guy in Germany tried to rob a store using a chainsaw,
Oh boy.
which sounds pretty scary, but he didn't have it started.
he was just holding it.
Didn't even have gas in it.
Oh,
so he came in
funny.
holding a chainsaw that's not started.
Oh, funny.
One of the employees walked over and took it away from the guy, and then he took off running. Woo! Didn't plan that through very well. An estimated 60,000 storage facilities in the United States, not single units, but storage buildings, each with dozens or some hundreds of units. So the United States might be known as a nation of hoarders. Homes and storage units filling up fast. Americans are now renting full-size construction dumpsters to declutter. People having the giant dumpsters dropped in the driveway, filling them up with years of stuff from basements, attics, garages, and more. Some dumpster companies are now marketing direct to consumers in the most in-demand cities for the storage unit. Which one? I'll tell you which one is the top one. What do you think it is?
Oh gosh, New York.
No, Houston.
Oh.
Yeah, they've got more than anybody else. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you peck out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. I'm very excited to visit with Deborah Dash Moore. She's a renowned Jewish scholar, and today is Holocaust Remembrance Day. And first of all, we'll say hello to Deborah Dash Moore. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you, John?
I am great. It's great to visit with you again. And today is a special day. It's a sad day, but it's a really important day for people to know what happened, for people to remember this. So let's talk a little bit about what is the proper way to observe today.
Well, I think there are a variety of different ways of observing. The day was chosen because this was when the Soviet army liberated Auschwitz, which was an enormous concentration and extermination camp, actually Auschwitz-Birkenau. And so it marked the beginning of liberation in that sense. It wasn't the end of it for sure, because many more people were killed before the war came to an end in May. But I think that it's really worthwhile pausing and thinking about what the Holocaust represents, about the millions of lives, men, women, and children, who were murdered for no particular reason except that they were Jewish, the millions of others who were also killed in the camps in the context of World War II. It's a time to reflect back on what we as human beings did to each other in just terrible ways out of hatred.
And again, today is Holocaust Remembrance Day, and this marks the beginning of some good, positive changes. And I know things are much better today than they were back then, but certainly not perfect by any means. Now, the last time you and I spoke, you were working on digitizing a bunch of writings and a bunch of information that covers period 1918 through 2005 at posenlibrary.com. How's that project coming along?
Oh, we're just about halfway through. And, if you go to posenlibrary.com, what you'll find are enormous resources. Just thinking about the Holocaust itself, you have some things that everyone knows about, like a selection from Anne Frank's diary. But you also have things that are much less well known. Other letters from other people, Eddie Hillisman from Westerbork. Westerbork was in the Netherlands, and that was the way station where Anne Frank was sent on her way eventually to be killed. You have a very powerful reflection by Rachel Auerbach on the Warsaw Ghetto and its uprising, and then the complete destruction of everything, all the buildings, everything in that part of Warsaw, and of the Jewish life that had flourished in Poland for well over 1,000 years. There are wonderful things to think and discover. And I would add that one of the advantages now of the posenlibrary.com and the larger project, the Posen Library of Jewish Culture and Civilization, is that you get a chance to think about how subsequent generations reflect upon it.
Absolutely.
You have writings from the 1980s and 1990s of people with some distance, not just, as it's happening, but also thinking back about it.
And again, today is Holocaust Remembrance Day, and this is something that we never want to repeat. We never want to go back through this, but we certainly don't want to forget it either. So, again, if you'd like to learn more, I think it's a wonderful resource, posenlibrary.com. I'm going to throw a link to that in the show notes. And again, Deborah, thank you for your time today. I appreciate it a bunch.
Oh, it's really great to talk with you, and it is so important that people remember. And I hope they go to the website. It's free. All you have to do is register, and you have access to wonderful material.
And it's a great day to do that on Holocaust Remembrance Day. Again, the website, posenlibrary.com. Our guest today, Deborah Dash Moore. I've got a link to all of the information in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Addiction. It's not a pretty thing. Addiction can lead to many problems in your life. Addiction can drive away those who love you the most. And addiction can lead to the loss of jobs, relationships, and even your life. Don't let addiction tear your life apart anymore. Get the help you need to defeat addiction and put the pieces back together in your life. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. They want to help. Timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The wood frog can hold its urine in for up to 8 months.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody even did that. Who did a study on this? Wood frogs in Alaska have been known to hold their wee-wee for up to 8 months. For whatever reason. I guess maybe it's because of the cold winters.
I have no idea.
They say it, usually it's like when the temperatures warm up.
I don't know if I've ever even heard of a wood frog.
Urine actually helps keep the animal alive while they hibernate, with special microbes in the gut that recycles that urine into nitrogen.
Well, isn't that fascinating?
Now we all know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Do you have a credit card? We'd like to help you get a better credit card. If you don't have any credit cards, we'd like to help you too. At bettercreditcards.com, we have credit cards that offer different things for different people. Some cards offer points. Some cards are designed to help you build your credit. Bettercreditcards.com wants to help you get a better credit card, no matter what you're looking for. See if we can help you find a better credit card at bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for a news headline from somewhere in this world. Dateline Hong Kong.
You're grinning over there.
This story makes me smile. In Hong Kong, a woman tried out a foot massager in a store, but she got her foot stuck.
Oh.
And the staff couldn't get it out either. They had to take her to a local hospital, and it took 30 minutes for them to get this thing off her foot.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't know if she put her foot in there wrong.
I bet she didn't buy it.
Probably not. So did you want me to wrap that up for you?
I wonder if you're supposed to try them in the store.
I just can only imagine. That's the kind of thing that would happen to me.
She must, yeah. She must have had it in there wrong.
I don't know. There's just no way. It's very bizarre,
That's
but
not
it is
good.
a news headline from somewhere in this world.
At WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com, we help you get ready for all the fun holidays throughout the year with fun, silly, and just plain weird gift ideas for your friends. If you have a friend who has a bizarre sense of humor, we've got a gift for them. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com posts a link to something that will make you smile each and every day. Whether you buy these weird gifts or not, it's worth checking out just for a smile. WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. That's WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. I was trying to decide if I even talk about this because it's funny, but it's also kind of not nice.
Okay.
It's from the Something You Don't See Every Day department. A law firm is conducting a contest to give away a free divorce for Valentine's Day.
Oh. I think I've heard of people doing this in the past.
On January 11th, they recognize the year that we've all endured with the pandemic, divided nation, economic hardship. That's why we're borrowing this idea from another attorney.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And we're giving away a divorce to the winner of this year's Valentine's Day contest. It's a reminder that they're trapped in a marriage and they cannot get out.
How would you like to be like on that website and see that your husband or wife registered for this and you had no idea it was even coming?
The contest is limited to residents of their area. The contest started back on the 11th and it's going to run until 5 p.m. on Monday the 15th. So it's even after Valentine's Day. But I would feel terrible if you found out that your spouse signed up for this.
Yeah, and you didn't know there were
it would be bad.
Any problems.
It's definitely today's weird news.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. Investigators say a tip from a convenience store clerk about a stolen donut led them to arrest a man of impersonating an officer. The tip came from a 7-Eleven. And according to an arrest report, police were told that a man wearing a sheriff deputy jacket stole a donut earlier in the day. and then drove off in a white Ford truck. They actually, the police looked at surveillance video of the truck, tracked him down at a nearby motel parking lot. It was 47-year-old Daniel Mark Wright, who was staying in a room at the hotel. Officers knocked on the door and made contact with him. He opened the door and was asked to step outside. A female was also in the bedroom, and she was identified. The door was open. They said they observed a jacket hanging there with the sheriff's info on it. He admitted that he was at the 7-Eleven, refused to answer any questions about that truck. Officers determined it was stolen. He was arrested for impersonating an officer, receiving or transfer of a stolen vehicle, and theft. So don't do that. It's a bad idea.
Don't do that.
No, it's today's moment of duh.
Early to bed, early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. This is a great quote from Benjamin Franklin. At InsuranceChicken.com, we know a thing or two about great quotes. We help people get great insurance quotes every day. It's super simple and free to find out if we can make you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Okay, I can't guarantee that, but I can assure you we'd love to help at InsuranceChicken.com. We want to help you pack out great deals on insurance. That's InsuranceChicken.com.
Time now for Fake News or Florida. Heidi, tell me, is this a true story from the great state of Florida, or is it fake news made up to trick you and amuse me? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Fake news or Florida. A nude Florida man stole a marked police vehicle and crashed it into a wooded area. Fake news or Florida?
I'll say Florida.
It is a true story.
Ha!
That did happen. And I want to remind you, we posted this yesterday. There is a survey on our Facebook page to talk about what we should do for a replacement for this feature. Or if we keep the feature, that's an option on there as well. But I would love to have you chime in a little survey at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and by golly, I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of giftcardchallenge.org, which is good news for everybody every day, or can be. Again, all the details at giftcardchallenge.org. Here's a headline. Anonymous donor pays off $95,000 worth of medical debt at a local hospital.
Oh,
How cool is this?
I love these kind of stories.
Me too. It's in Pratt, Kansas, and a pair of anonymous donors paid off $95,000 worth of medical debt. Mail carrier Britt Olier said she noticed something different in the mail when she was delivering that on Tuesday. She said, I kept seeing these red things on top of the letter saying, not a bill, please open. And then she found out, to her surprise, when she got home, she had one at her house. She said, I searched further, and the letter said, if you have been chosen by anonymous donor, we've paid off your hospital bills.
Wow.
430 families were able to enjoy this wonderful thing. The majority came from one donor, but another chimed in as well, and they helped out to give $95,000 to help people in need at the Pratt Regional Medical Center.
I absolutely love that.
I think it's wonderful. We talked about this at Christmas time. There was something similar to that where a church had paid off everybody in the state of Iowa. I thought that was such a cool thing.
That's fantastic.
I love that. And this is one of those things. This is what a good, if you have the ability to do it, it's what a good neighbor does. Just helps neighbors in need. And think about how wonderful that is for all these people who were struggling, and now all of a sudden it's taken care of. One less thing to worry about.
And one less major thing to worry about. It's fantastic.
I've got a link to the story if you want to read all about it. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.